we keep wanting to say.
And usually we say good morning, and it's not even good morning now.
So welcome to everybody who's coming from wherever you are.
Wait a minute, let's make sure it's working first. Is it working? Beth is our our camera person today.
Or the videographer. We'll give her a very fancy title.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, all right, we're on. Okay.
We're gonna get this party started. You ready to rock and roll?
Well, no, we have to talk. We have to talk about a few things. First of all,
Okay, go for it.
if you have I'm Teri. This is Marty. We're sisters, and we are Material Rewards for those of you who are first-time joiners. If not, for the rest of you, you know who we are. Anyways, if you have a question or comment, don't shout it out. We won't hear you. But if you would like to send an email by going to the comments, right?
No? Just do a comment.
Oh, you just.
Not an email. Just on the comment section below, go ahead and write your comment, send it, and we'll get it.
And then Beth will get it and relay it to us. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do fall in July. And we went through and we pulled some fall stuff off of the website that was already there. And then Marty and I have been scurrying around like little chipmunks in a cage, getting new stuff done for you. So we'll go through all of that too and show you. And then if you got the email, hopefully you did, you'll realize that all of the stuff we show you today is 20% off.
From now until Saturday.
From now till Saturday at midnight. There are a couple things that we added at the last minute that Beth doesn't even know about, a couple stupid things. So if you decide you want them, just pop us an email, all right, and just say, because a couple stencils, I think, are the only things that we had to add yet. So that was it. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to have Marty, because she's the tall one.
No, we're sitting on the wall. I thought you said.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were going to go around the wall. So we're going to have
I'm
that.
the younger one. Okay, so we're going to start over in here.
I just have to say, I woke up this morning and my finger was like a claw. I didn't, I couldn't even
They don't care.
move my hand. Okay, so we're going to start over here. All set, Beth? Okay. This is a new panel from Henry Glass, and the designer is Jan Matz. Marty, speak up when I forget.
You're talking, that's
When
what
I forget. And what it is, this is the panel, and it's called Cavalier Crow. And then they designed this absolutely fabulously gorgeous fabric line to go with it. The printing on this is probably one of the best we've seen in a while. So you've got the center panel, and then there's the piecing on the outside. This one is 53 by 73, and it's $75 regularly. I'm giving you the regular prices. The sale prices will be on the website, all right? So that's the Cavalier Crows. No, we're going to do that separately. Okay. Then this one is called Time Well Spent. It has been well spent. It's been on this puppy forever. But yesterday I was going to slap the binding on, and then I realized I hadn't finished quilting it. So I sat down and I said, okay, let's finish quilting it. And a couple of things I just want to point out to you, because my biggest concern was, I mean, we can all do in the ditch. That's not a big deal. But then what do you do with these big open spaces? So what I did is I started over in here, and, oh, there was a table right part. I started over here, and then I did like a really wide echo. I had ditched everything, so I just did a really wide echo, and I kind of just, and then I went up into here. So this blue is all just kind of an echo. And then I was sitting there thinking, okay, now where it says kind words are honey, sweet for the soul, that's actually hand embroidered, okay? And then I was like, well, what am I going to do in that space? Because I got to do something. Well, if you look at the background of the fabric, there's little stars in them. And then there's those flowers up there. So what I did, and if you can close up Beth a little bit, I went in and I just stitched, did you see how I did that little petals of the flower, mimicking that up there? I put a little tiny flower. I put a star. Anything to get that part smashed down so everything is consistent. You don't want it quilt it really hard and have big floppy parts. So that's how I ended up doing it. It's almost done. I just have to put the binding on it. So that's a kit that we've got. The whole thing is 56 by 78, and it's a $200 kit. And then Marty did this one, so we'll let her tell you about that.
This is Autumn Spice, and the pattern originally was a lap size quilt. So usually when we do our kits, we cut the fabric yardage that they call for. Well, my lap quilt grew to bed-sized quilt because that's how much fabric was in there, and I just kept on making. If you look at this quilt, it's basically a churn-dash block and a 9-patch block, and obviously stranded crazy threads on it. That's all that it is. It's a really simple, but the colors on it, it's very very, to me, very autumn folly, those reds, the golds, the browns, the oranges. But one thing that I wanted to point out on this, I love stripes. Anybody that knows me, I really, really like stripes. So you notice that there are some blocks in here that had stripes. But I think the thing that scares people the most about stripes is keeping them all straight. I'm
Going the same way.
Yeah, going the same way. I mean, I don't mind if they get wonky, but for those of you who do, we have figured out how you can keep them straight. So what you're going to do, and actually what I'm going to do is turn this over for a minute.
You're being asked to speak louder.
Okay. If you're going to do, if you think about on the churn dash block, this little half square triangle, that's where you have the most problem with making sure that things are staying straight. So what they have you do, I mean, if you think about a half square triangle, what you're doing is layering two pieces and then you're going to mark a diagonal. So what you want to do is take your the directional ones that you're doing, you're going to make it, but what you're going to do is you want to flip them in opposite directions. Then draw that straight line, layer them with their piece, and then you're going to do your 1/4 inch like you normally would. So then when you cut these apart, voila. So this is the start of your churn dash. What that does is it gives you all 4 of them, and you just have to figure out what spot they go into. If you look at that one, it's still keeping the stripe going correct. Look at this magic. Look at that magic. And there you have a churn dash with all of the stripes going in the same direction. So it's as simple as that. As simple as that. You just have to take them and turn them in opposite directions when you mark your lines. Okay? So anyway, so the kit for this, instead of being a lap quilt, will be a full bed size quilt, because it did turn out to be 84 by 100. And the kit is 175 unless you're 20% off. So that's that guy. Alright, and then moving around the corner here, we have Tranquil Woods. And again, and I think we've talked before, sometimes, I mean, panels get sometimes a bad rap, but when they're printed nice, they're really just a fun thing to work, because you can start with them in the center and build on them with other fabrics, which is kind of what this one. This one, again, could either go on a wall or as a lap quilt. Throw some flannel on the back of it, it would be the prettiest lap quilt you ever come across. So that one ends up being 58 by 68. Okay, the last one on the wall is Cinnamon Bun, which we've had before. You've seen that one. But again, to me, great, great, great fall colors. So,
now Marty's gonna climb up.
Yeah, don't look. I'm not graceful. Okay.
Oh, this is so good. And hopefully this will work, so excuse us while we move things. You go ahead and get up there.
No, I was going to pull it from first.
Talk amongst yourself.
There we go. Okay.
Hey, smoking company, that's what we do at some days.
This is the easiest way to do this.
Okay, this one is called Autumn Folk Art Stars. Now this was a series. We did the patriotic one before, and it all features this big star, folk art star fabric in the middle. Then you slap a couple borders on it, and that's all it is. So this is 54 square, and it includes the backing, all the stuff at the top. $65 for the kit. All right. Then we have, watch this. Oh, we are so organized. Someday. I know, I woke up in the middle of the night, thought, damn, I forgot. Oh, I should be saying it. Darn, I forgot to do the labels. Okay, this one is called Quiet Mornings, very fallish scene, balloons, and it is 52 square, and the kit is 60 on this one. It's just, again, it's got that panel, but let's face it, folks, now with the advent of digital printing, they're not your grandmother's panels anymore. Some of these, yeah, we had a run of panels right here.
Yes, we
Some of
did.
these you saw when we were up at Marty's house the other day. This one is called Stepping Stone Sunset because of the stepping stones out here. Just a nice fall sunset. Yeah, that's about all we said about it.
Yeah.
Meh.
That's all we get is a nip.
It's 64 by 48 and it's $70 for that.
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. I love it. This will probably go to my house.
Okay.
I'm not knowing. This one is called
This
Creekside.
is my house.
We're gonna get past the panels soon. Don't worry about it. This one's called Creekside. It's 63 by 56. $65 for the kit. Very simple.
Simple. This would be a great beginner's project.
Yeah.
Really, truly.
The
is.
hardest part was we took a pattern that was oriented the other way, and we had to totally redesign it so that the trees were going the correct way. We did all the work for you, so fret not, you've got the easy part. This one goes back to the one we showed you before, but this is the Halloween one. So it's the purple stars, and Marty is a believer in fall, you've got to have purple, because
Yes.
that's just the way it works.
Yes.
So this one again is 54 square, and the kit is 65, and that includes the vacuum.
These are great, like if you do like outside picnics.
Yeah.
You know, they're just the perfect size to have a picnic on, and yes, quilts wash, so you don't. I can hear the gas from here.
They do well.
What? You're putting food on it?
You know,
Yes,
another
they
thing
wash.
you could do with this too, we've had people in the past that, and I know we've told the story before, so if you've heard it, I don't know. They would take like a very plain fabric and do like a whole cloth quilt for their bed, a big one. And then they would take this, a quilt like this, and put it on point on top of the bed so that you can mix and match. So if you
Mhm.
put like a beige something on there,
This would work for the centerpiece of it, and you're
Right.
not having to make 14 big quilts. You can just change out the centerpiece.
right. There's probably a term for that, but I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
we're not designers, so.
Yep. This is woodland flannels. This is a baby, it could be a baby's or a child's quilt. It's flannel. And this just took a 10-inch layer cake and add some sashing, a few little cornerstones, and simple. This is do it in an afternoon quilt.
Yeah,
And
great
this-
beginners.
yeah.
Great beginners project.
And we quilted this one on the regular machine. If you look at it, all we did was we ditched everything and then diagonal lines straight through all, and that'll hold it together beautifully.
This would be a nice project, even for a gift if like you have a granddaughter who's done some sewing but not a ton. I mean, it's squares and rectangles that they're sewing together, so this would be a great Christmas present for them.
Yeah, give them the kit for Christmas. Let them do the work. Don't do the work
And then
for them
spend the
always.
time with them to teach them how to do it.
Oh, wait a minute. I got, oh, there it is.
Upside down? Oh.
No, I just put the wall wrong. This one is called a walk through the woods. And that's basically what it is. This little latticey work out here is kind of fun. 30 by 50, $55 quilt. This one we had last year, but we finally finished it this year. And it's called Starry Night, and this is a Halloween quilt. Does this one glow in the dark? I don't think it does. I don't think it did.
No, I don't think this one does.
No. This was a Riley Blake fabric line, I think it was. And easy peasy. Not a lot
And then
to
if you
say
put
about it.
something really fun on the back,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
a double-sided quilt.
So that's 56 by 70, $80. And then this one we showed you a week or so ago.
Yep.
This
But
one
again,
is,
the falls, or the colors are so good for fall.
this was just a jelly roll, so you could do this with any coloration that you wanted. We talked about that. And it's 66 by 85, $90 kit. So that's one. Okay. Now what we're going to show you next. This is going to be on the website,
Yes.
and it is.
Yes.
It already is. Poor Beth didn't get any sleep over the weekend. Anyways, this is a freebie for you. So this is a jelly roll, and there's a free pattern on there on how to put this together. And the jelly roll that we used is
Adele's Autumn.
Adele's Autumn by, who is this, Riley Blake. So, again, the epitome of fall. It's got the pumpkins, it's got all the flowers and stuff like that. And all it is stratas.
Yeah, it's the
Great.
jelly roll and a little bit of background.
Yep.
You can put some flannel on the back.
Yeah, it's Marty's
You know,
favorite.
flannel's wonderful, so.
Yeah. So that's
So
a,
this is Chill Out,
oh, thank you, yes. And that's on the website, you can download it.
free
It's a
download,
freebie.
yep.
Yep.
But you can also order the jelly roll for, if you wanna make it with it.
Yes. Because
Okay.
go in the pre-cuts. Okay, now Beth, you keep pointing at that way, because I don't want them to see what's going on. Because we only cleaned a quarter of the room.
So
Could
you're
you?
just gonna put it there?
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
good. So we're gonna move the next table of stuff.
Now we're ready to downsize.
Yes, now we're gonna go to smaller things and slow down. I feel like we've been racing here. Do we race?
Sure.
Okay,
I'll sit too. Or did you want to lean?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
you're not sitting down,
I was just gonna, for a minute.
and the cheese stands alone. Okay,
Well, it's not like you need help holding that one up.
well then you do the chatting then.
Marty just did this, and I'm really impressed that she got it done. She loves log cabins, that's
Yes,
why.
I do.
That's why she got it done. This is Patchabilities, wasn't it?
I think so. It's called the Pumpkin Spice Runner.
Everything is either pumpkin spice, autumn spice,
Everything was spice. It's spicy
Yes.
day.
So hopefully we won't get everything all messed up. So this was, you said pumpkin spice, well wait,
Yeah.
is there a label? Where's my, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And it's 14 by 40,
16 by 40, $48 kit. That includes backing.
but it's got a little bit of, we did flannel instead of wool for the people who go for the
applique, and it does need buttons on it for the bittersweet. That did not get done. And as you can see, some of these samples don't have bindings on them either.
It's okay.
Quite a few of them actually.
We'll
We
get to
figured
them.
binding, you can figure out what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one is the Pumpkin Spice Runner.
Do you want to put it over here?
Oh,
Oh, I'm not bending over and picking that up. Here you go, do this one now.
okay.
I feel like handing out Christmas gifts. Oh, sure, I just comb my hair. It was
Okay.
worthwhile.
This is the Gather Pillow. This is just a cute little thing. We did flannel for the applique. Just a cute little decoration. We did do an envelope back on it, so it was nice and easy to put the pillow form in and out. Or you can do like this one. Well, just that we just stuffed it with the stuffing.
I figured on that small, I was not making a pillow form, so I
If
just,
you need to wash it, you can just pull the stuffing out. It's small.
yeah.
But just a cute little gathering. You can tuck it on a table someplace.
And you said this was flannel.
This is flannel. Yep, it's a
Everything is
$25
flannel.
kit. Everything in there.
Okay. Let's talk about these 2/3 guys.
Yes.
Okay. This is called, believe it or
Fall
not,
Trio.
the Fall Trio, even though we only have 2 right here.
A fall duo.
A Fall Duo Trio is coming. Now what happened is, there's another one that's a leaf, but as I was making it, I found an error in the pattern, and I did not have time to recalculate it. So, plus I wasn't gonna come back and get more fabric. So anyways, the third one is a very, very pretty leaf one.
Piece maple, like a piece maple.
Yeah, and you'll see a picture of it on the website. You'll see we'll get the real one done, Toot Sweet, and get it up for you. Now, we have a little discussion about this. A couple things I want to talk to you about. First of all, in the original pattern, she used just one, no, she used a jelly roll for this.
Yes.
She used a jelly roll for this. And we did not. We just went and started pulling fall fabric. So we had to have, our baskets all had to be different because Marty picked it out. Very, very simple. It's just a little bit of a 9-patch and extra, but anyways. But what I want to point out to you is the difference between these two. When I was making them, if you notice on this one, and I did bind it just on purpose, the binding comes right to the pumpkins.
That's the way the pattern's.
That's
supposed
the
to
way
do
the
it.
pattern calls for it to be. And when I was looking at it, I thought, do I want to float these things? And it was too late 'cause I'd already cut the backing and the batting. So on this one, I added like an inch strip all the way around because I did not want my baskets chopped off like that. Now looking at that, I do like it, so I really don't think it makes a difference. But that's something that you can decide what you want to do if you want to.
There will be a little bit extra of
yes.
the background in the kit, so you can either float or not float,
Right.
whatever works for you.
Exactly, exactly. And the other thing I wanted to point out is the quilting on this one. Because, again, it goes back to this other one behind me. When you are, and I'm going to tell me if I get too close. If you look at these, I didn't know what to do out of these things, and I wasn't going to stipple it, because sometimes that's just boring. So what I did is, Marty, would you go over there? There's a leaf on that table. I went and I Googled line drawing of a pumpkin leaf, because I didn't want to put a botanically wrong leaf on it. And I printed it off, and this is my little pumpkin leaf. Cut it out, I put that on there, and I traced around it, and that's where I got my leaf forms. So use that. It's cool. Isn't it called Google line drawings or something like images? Google Images. And then I just did the little tendrils out here, and that's all I did for the quilting. Ditched everything. But simple, do a free motion. That went together very quickly. I haven't decided what I'm doing on the pumpkin or the baskets. I think what I want to do is, if you want to hang on to that, lift a little leaf away, is I would love to find like a couple leaves or something like that coming out of the baskets, or I don't know what I'm going to do. That's. Oh, and then the other thing I did too was we had a really nice stripe, and we've talked to you about this before. Make it reversible. So we had a border stripe, and actually I got 2 out of 1 length. There's my border stripe for the backing, and now it's reversible. So the third one will be coming, but, and the way we did it was the pattern, we did a drop down, right? You can pick the pattern, and you can pick 1, 2, or 3 or a combination of the kits?
Right, so each one of them are listed separately. You'll have the pattern only, or you can do the leaf fabric pack, the pumpkin fabric pack, or the basket fabric pack. So it's just if you wanted to order one, then you would just add the pattern into your cart, and then whichever one of the fabric pack or packs that you want to add into. Very simple.
Nobody's asking questions.
I know, we're out here alone.
It's okay. All right, we pulled out some Kim deals because they are very fall-ish. This one is hog-tied. This one
Smarty
is
pants.
Smarty Pants.
And then hayride.
So these are all going to be the 20% off. So you can get rid of those. Now we'll go into wool for a minute. This is called Bounty. This was fun to do because I love the beads. Gotta have
And
a
the
little
beads
bling.
are all included in the pattern,
Yes.
so.
Everything is there you need, even the backing.
Yep.
Everything is there but the threads.
Yep.
And cat hair.
That's included for free.
That's optional.
Especially this time of year.
Now this was a combination pattern. So what you get is the pattern has 4 different designs in it. There's a patriotic stars one, and then there's a pansy one. And what we did, because we're doing fall and Christmas, is we did just the 2. So here's our fall one. It's pumpkins, and that's about it. And this one will sneak peek in Christmas. This is going to be Christmas. In the kit, you get the fabric and stuff for both of these, not the other 2.
Right.
That would be a whole different ball of wax. Or you might have stuff in your own stash for that. But I liked doing these. And it really shows up, and I don't know if you'll see it on camera, but the variegated threads, like the red thread and the pumpkin colored thread, they really showed up nicely on this one. Another thing I did a little bit differently too, and I'm going to try close-up back. If it gets bad, let me know. On the pumpkin one, I did a traditional buttonhole stitch, and then I was bored, so on this one, I did a traditional buttonhole stitch, but I did long, short, long, short, long, short. So it just gives it a tiny bit different look, and it just alleviated my boredom. This one I was babysitting the puppy dog that night that I was doing those.
Okay. Quick little nice fall wall hanging.
This one is
This one's called My Autumn Garden. And for those of you that are crow fans, this would probably be very good for you. You can see that there's still pins there, so it's partially quilted, but enough to get it done. So it only measures 41 by 41, so it's a nice small one. You can quilt it on your own, very easily done. But sunshines and crows, what's more fall than that?
Not sunshine, sunflowers.
Oh, did I say sunshine?
I
Okay.
think you did, but I'm not
That's
sure.
okay.
I'm not sure.
We won't roll back the tape.
Please don't.
Okay. And then we have Wind Blown.
This is Kansas Troubles. Very traditional Kansas Troubles. Not a lot to this one. It's just leafies and flying geese.
And sometimes Kansas Troubles, did they do her? what
No,
is it?
raw
Okay,
edge applique,
thank
no.
God.
Well, she did a little funky something with the stem, but people can do something different if they want.
Yeah, because sometimes what she'll do is with a point, she'll take the background square and she'll just lay a triangle on there and just stitch that edge and then piece it in so you have a raw edge.
She didn't do that, but that's okay. Some people like it. Wink, wink, Marty.
Yeah, most people don't. So,
wink, wink. She may
That's
be
okay.
listening. She may be
You're right.
listening.
you're right.
This
Okay.
is another Kim deal. This one is called Keeping Room. And we found, for those of you, I don't know if we talked about this afterwards, we didn't understand why you would call something Keeping Room. Well, we found out that Keeping Room, back in the pioneer days, was the room next to the kitchen, between the kitchen and the dining room, I think, that you kept the food warm in.
That would
So
make
that's
sense.
why it was called the Keeping Room. You kept your food warm in there. I don't know what that has to do with this, but that's what she called it, so that's what we're
Well,
going with.
historical tidbit for you.
Yes. That would be the end of our educational purposes.
Okay, and I think this was maybe one of the last ones, but this is Close Quarters. Again, very nice fall colors, perfect for the top of a table. Throw a vase of sunflowers on the top of it and it'll be perfect. So remember again, these are all 20% off.
Okay,
Now
now
to
we're going to go
Saturday.
to a dimensional.
Okay.
This is called Crazy Pumpkin Trio. Now for those of you, because sometimes we do quilting, sometimes we do piecing, sometimes we do embroidery, sometimes we do wool, applique. This was embroidery really. That's kind of what it was. So this is one of the ones that's in this little packet.
We did the cat before
Yes.
hers.
Yeah, the crazy kid, I think she called it. And what I did on this one is her basic premise is this. I have it right here. Is you have a base interfacing thing, and then you cut your pieces of all of your wool, and she has to give you patterns. And then in the package, we've talked about transfer ease 101 times. She gives you transfer ease that has all of these strips. Why don't you pull one sheet out? The transfer ease has crazy quilting designs already on them, printed on them. So all you do is you cut apart, yeah, and you cut these little guys apart, and then you put them on here, you stitch, 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 and then when you're all done, you rinse them off, and they dissolve. The beauty of this is all of your stitching is very, very close to being perfect.
And you can see she gives you quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of ideas in there.
So what I did on this one, just because I was playing around, on this side, I don't know if you can see it or not, because we like our Valdanis and we only sell the variegateds other than black and white. This is using one thread and one thread only, but you can see the variegation in it. And then on the other side, I used different colors of thread, so that perked it up a little bit, but this was a lot easier because you didn't have to think, what color should I use next? So that's why I did this side. But that's all it is, and it's just stitching, and it's so relaxing.
Well, and
so
you can see
relaxing.
how easily this bends, too, so it's going to fit.
Mhm.
You don't have to do straight lines.
So this was one size, that's one size, and then the other size was this, a little squat white one. Plus she puts another size of these three ones that is much smaller, more like gourd size. Now I have to show you because I was just playing one day, and I don't know if I'm 100% happy with what I did. But I thought if I was a person that had a really nice sewing machine, excuse me, with a lot of decorative stitches, could I do that instead of the handwork? So I got out some variegated threads, and I actually did the stitching with my machine. My machine is not meant to do something like that. The stitches are big enough. So I wasn't wild about it, but if you've got a machine that's got the stitches on it, go for it. That would be done in zip quick time. So that's just another option if you like to do that sort of thing. So we will get rid of this. And as long as we're doing dimensional, we got our little, oh, and then we got this. We got our little pussy cat out, the meow, and we did a little, I took off his jingle bell for Christmas, and I just put a little pumpkin pin on him just to make him a little more festive for fall. So that's our meow.
So that you can say, kitty cats are for all seasons, right?
There you go. His poor head is crooked. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. So anyways, I know.
Okay, now we have the acorn circle runner. This again was a very, very, very easy to piece. The leaves are appliqued on there, so just a little bit of buttonhole. And we've discussed this before because I've got everything obviously layered up with the backing and the batting. And so I'm going to go and do my applique now. So it'll go through all of the layers, and then everything is all done, quilted, ready to go, ready to bind. And you could almost do like a nice little leafy stencil down the center of that too, but nice warm colors for fall. So that's the acorn circle runner.
This one is called the Giant Pumpkin Homestead.
Do you need to hold this or what?
Well, I was going to let you talk about it because you did it.
I don't know why she named this one. This one was kind of weird. But again, this one we ended up because we did put a little skinny border around the outside edge, just because it really seems to kind of need it to finish it off.
Well, what a lot of times we're worried about, and of course we always know better than everybody else, just ask us, we'll tell you. This is where it ended originally. And our concern is always, unless you do a perfect 1/4 inch binding, which most of us don't, you're going to be lapping off all of these little points on these stars on the outside edge. So if you just put a little bit of the extra background, you're going to float everything, you're not going to lose your point.
Right. And it doesn't change the design hardly at all.
No.
But this was a super easy. I love making these little 3-inch stars. Those were fun.
I just got it. Here's a giant pumpkin with a homestead
Homestead
in the middle.
Well, I knew why. It just seemed like
Oh.
a silly name. That was all.
And if you want to talk silly, this one is called, thank you, If the Shoe Fits, ... I love this. I loved it. Didn't she do something else?
Yeah,
Christmas
she did elf something or other. I
Yeah,
don't think it was-
yeah. And this one is 15 by 45. It includes, the backing is included in the kit, and the kit's 45. Now, could you hold that corner for just a second?
Absolutely.
This is another one of those, and I tell you, my quilting for some reason this last couple of weeks has really been stretched because I'm not technically that good of a machine quilter. But on this one again, I couldn't figure out how am I going to quilt this. I got to fill in all these big spaces, and my always go to for Halloween or for fall and Halloween is a spider web. To me, it's perfect. So I tried 14 different ways, and I was ripping out and bleh. Finally, I went to Google Images and I looked up spider web. I don't know why I couldn't wrap my brain around it. But anyways, and it showed you how to just draw the radiating lines, and then you just shoot, shoot, shoot. And I think it's perfect. I don't think you could ask for anything better in it. And it's got the funky little stockings and the shoes. And I did deviate from the pattern. She used a flange thing, weird thing for the border. I just did a nice little border stripe for the outside border. I like it. It'll go to my house when we're done with it. Back to, remember our Cavalier crows.
So they also did a pattern that included, and these are downloadable patterns from Henry Glass, that she did another runner and then a bench pillow. And that used the panels that are used in the center of these runners. She did 3 for the runner and 3 for the bench pillow. Not many people have room for bench pillows, so if you do, that's cool, go ahead and do that. So we just ended up making 2 different runners. So this way you have one for you and one to give, which is always, that's a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned. But again, the panels are so well printed on this that
Really
the colors
nicely
are
done.
great. Cat hair is great.
We don't care about that. But these are designed to go with that one. Yep, okay?
Just a little bit of a deviation on some of the fabrics.
Oh, should have wrote my label. Oh, we got a couple more pins there. If you want to do those.
Okay, so this one is twist and turn. Again, very fall, very easy to do. It would just fit on like an end table, very nicely. Again, I put like small things like this. I have one part of my kitchen counter as kind of an island extension, and I just always throw a little wall hanging on the top of that.
And then she brings her vegetables in the garden and just flops
Yes,
them
I
on
do,
top.
because you know what? These things wash. They wash.
And you also put them over the backs of your chairs,
oh, I always
too.
put them on the backs of chairs.
And this one is called County Fair.
Yep.
So we have kits for all of those.
Quick, easy projects.
Okay, now this is oops, we got a little screen going on here. It goes back to my quilting that I was talking about.
Now, this fabric is not available.
Yes, this fabric is not available, so please don't say that you have to have it. So I'm not even going to show you the whole thing. But what I wanted to show you was, Beth, can you see the center part of that, the quilting on it? Okay, because what I did for this one, this was just a border stripe. And okay, yeah, find the border stripe. You can do something in the ends. But what do you do the middle? This to me is the perfect opportunity. You take a stencil like this, and you put it like this, and you do, what is that called? Great stitch? Big stitch?
Big stitch.
Big stitch. And we used a pearl cotton, the velvet Adani pearl cotton, one of the pumpkin colors. Probably second row down, Marty, one to the left.
Yours is looking for my stuff.
Oh, sorry.
What do you want?
The second one to the left, then the second row down. That one, yeah. So all you have to do is one stitch, and it's one thread, and it's just a nice big stitch, and you've got the whole thing quilted. I think I did radiating
This
lines.
one.
Yeah, something like that. So if you've got a border stripe in your closet that you don't know what to do with, pull it out, and if it's not a fall one, if it's a Christmas one, put a big old wreath or something in the middle. But that's another way to utilize and to get a stencil that you've got that you like and get it worked out. Okay. What do you want to do
Maple
next?
sugar next.
Okay.
As long as we're doing that.
Yep, this is maple sugar, and it's just a little topper in the process.
And again, going back to the thread on this one, the thread for the vines is all one, and that's this one. It's
M78.
It is gorgeous. It has greens and oranges and golds all variegated in it, so that you don't have to worry about it. I mean, I did use match
pumpkin
the
one.
colors, like a rust, a brown, and a gold for those guys, but then all of that vine work was just done with that M78, and it is one of my favorite threads because it's so showy.
Well, and I was going to say, because don't go any place with that, because I was going to also point out, if
I'm
you
not going any place.
don't go any place, if you have to do any, okay, don't do that, that's bad. If you have to do any fall stitching, because I use the same one, M78, and I did all of the leaves on my, this little topper thing, again, it gives you that variegation of fall colors,
Yep.
so you're not constantly switching. So on this one, and I was trying to remember what I used, because my two favorite fall colors,
Probably these
this
two.
one, no, it wasn't that
Wasn't
one,
that
no. But this one and this one are like the perfect Valdanis for fall work.
Yep.
So if you don't have any others, M78 is a really
This
good
is a
one.
great one. Now,
Now, oh,
yeah,
go
just
ahead.
say, you tell them about that one now.
About the center?
No, it's a pumpkin spice one.
Oh,
the
this
topper.
is called pumpkin spice topper. Very simple, a little kind of patchworky thing going around the outside edge. That was so simple, it was funny. And then I do have to tell you my little story about this, because I had this all done and there was nothing in the center. And I thought, well, probably you're gonna put like a candle or a pot of something like that, and that'll stick it down, but just something,
Pumpkin, it'll be cute on you.
yeah, something the quilter in me just said I just can't let it go, I can't leave it. So I thought, okay, fine, I'm just going to, do a circle in there. So then, back in the old days, oh God, I can remember this, back in the old days, we were trying to figure out circles. And we would get paper plates, and we would get bowls, and we couldn't get them centered, and it was awful. So, this is, and I've talked about this stencil before, people. This is a stencil you have got to have in your stash. Because what I did, if you, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's four, it's where they don't cut it,
Registration
four registration marks. All I did was I put those four registration marks on my four north, south, east, and west, centered it, and I could pick whatever size circle I wanted. It was perfectly centered. It was exactly the size I wanted. Bob's your uncle. My circle was in there. I mean, really, I have this one at home, and I have one here that I have out, because I use them all the time. So this is not listed on the website. We should maybe put it on later. But anyways, it is a stencil for many uses. So this is pumpkin spice topper. I like doing that one. That one was fun. Okay.
Okay, then this one is the Hexy Penny wool mat. All you're seeing is a label through the back. What the heck is that? Okay, so this is the Hexy Penny, and I love doing pennies because they're so mindless. Do you notice whenever we pick up wool and stuff, all we're doing is picking cat hairs out?
Jeez. Well, I have a white cat, and you have
I have
a
a blonde.
blonde cat, so that doesn't help.
They've met Jezzy.
Yes, that's right, they have.
But pennies are so portable. I mean, you can take a bag of these things prepped and you can go any place with them. Stitch one here, stitch one there. And then and we picked all really great fall colors for this. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And
sit down and put it in your
then
lap.
I have never been super happy with how I join my pennies together. So I did some online searching, and actually Lisa Bonjean from Primitive Gatherings, I will give her 100% credit, not for the cat hair, but for everything else. She did a really great video on how to join them, and I just wanted to show you real quick. So when I got all my pennies together, and I was going to show you on this one a little bit too, when I stitched the colored circle onto the black, I used a very neutral thread. I think it was an H212. It's kind of a blacky browny gray. So that was, I did all of them. And then I kind of divided all my colors into oranges and browns and purples and greens. And whatever color it was, that's what I stitched around the outside edge of that. So it added just a little bit of a sparkle of color to it. So once I got them done, I stitched them together in rows, which I'm going to show you how I did that, and then just stitched the rows together. It took me basically a night to put this together. But you can see I've got one last thing here. And what she suggests doing is you lay out your piece, and then you can kind of see in here I've got some chalk marks. So when I had this row put together and this row put together, I laid them next to each other, and then I drew a line across, and I used my white Soline marker, and I would draw a line where they butted, where they touched the ones next to it. So then all I did is I flipped the one onto the other. I could match up those two and then stitch it together. So that's, I'm going to just do this last one. So there's my two lines. I'm going to flip those together. I did this last night while watching Cesar Millan. Better Human, Better Dog. Love that show. So I've got some black pearl cotton that I'm matching here, and don't put a knot in it. That was the thing that was just throwing me off,
Freaking
because
us
I'm
out.
always used to. And then you want to find where you want to match up your little white marks, find out where they were, and you're just going to come in shallowly. So not through the whole thing, you're going to come in between layers, and you come up and leave a tail. And then I just kind of hold on to that. And then you're basically just going to take a couple of stitches. She does 2, but I found 3 worked better for me. And then what you're going to do is go to the opposite one and again go through those layers and come out and clip your thread. And that's all there is to it. And it's ready to go.
So you don't run the thread from
Nope,
circle to circle?
nope, it worked really well. She left tails, but this, I mean, you can just clip them as you go, kind of a thing. But it's perfect. I mean, it's really, this is probably as a secure one as I've done in a very long time. So I'm really happy with using that technique of joining them. And you have a nice pretty backing too, with all the kit here.
Okay, no more
so
kit here,
that
sorry.
one was Hexy Penny roll mat.
Don't sit back down.
Nope.
Okay, couple more and then we will let you guys go because I just realized how long this has been.
Sunflower
Pumpkin,
acorn.
sunflowers and acorns.
Yeah, so this one is pumpkin and sunflower acorn. Again, just a really nice mat. We again took a small, she did this as a dimensional piece. We put it onto a background, added the tendrils, and again, really showcased that Valdani thread that we used around the outside and did that hen stitching.
The other thing too on this one, and I don't know, because we did this ourselves.
Mhm.
Sometimes when you're doing a tendril and they'll have you either do a stem stitch or a back
Whoa.
stitch, whatever. I did a chain stitch, and look at how gorgeous that is. Again, it highlights the fabric, but it adds so much zippy pizzazz to the finished product.
And if you want just a little bitty project, this is a little candle mat. This one is the bittersweet pumpkin or bittersweet mat. And again, the French knots on this just make it. And again, this was all done with one thread. It wasn't done with multiples. It was just one variegated thread, and that's what worked perfectly for that. So just a little candle mat on that guy.
This one is called Foliage, and this is again a little topper. This would be a good one for a beginner, I think.
Mhm.
A very good one for beginner. Very simple French knots, basic stitches.
And remember, if you really have struggle with French knots, we do have the tutorial on the website, the embroidery one, and we do explain how to do French knots. No fail. No fail.
I couldn't believe it because when we were getting ready and Beth was setting this whole thing up, we had 50 of these video things. I'm like, geez, geez Louise, are people
We be
bored
owed.
yet?
We
We
be
be
owed.
owed. You do that one.
Okay, this one is called Three Witches Hats for obvious reasons. And what we did with this guy is
This is
have,
wool.
this is a wool center, and all we did was we buttonholed it onto some fabric and then put it into a frame, which for the kit, which is $35, the frame is included with it. And we took one of our barnwood frames and just spray painted it black. And it worked really well with this. But really cute. You've got some buttons for spiders and
Little
just kind of a
bats with the
fun
green
little
eyes.
thing. Yep, just a fun little thing.
And this one is another wool one, and it's called Cabin. And the reason Marty said, "What are these buttons doing sticking out here?" Well, we were supposed to run out into the woods and get a stick, and you put
Who
this.
had time for that?
Yeah, no sticks, no sticks. And then you just loop a piece of thread around the buttons and tie it to your stick, and that's how you hang these. So that one is Cabin.
And this one is another one, Simply Sunflowers. This one really showcases the hand-dyed wools that we used for the background on this guy. So
Oh, yeah.
the sunflowers are just really, really pretty. And then you can see in the center, we again took one of those stencils and then just did the long stitch. It's subtle, but it's there, and it's nice because it anchors down the middle so that you don't have any lumping on that one too. But that one's very, very pretty.
And this one is called Apple Bucket / Welcome Autumn.
Yeah, we always get this one confused.
Right. It's just a simple little, no beads on this one.
Nope.
Nope. Again, use the, what did I call this stitch?
Chain?
Chain stitch, thank you, thank you. Chain stitch for the lettering. Oh, and we did the same thing on, I must
Yeah.
have been in the chain stitch.
No, we like doing that for lettering because
Yeah.
it's way easier than trying to bend a running stitch around a
Yes.
curve. This guy is called Pumpkin Nights, and it's just a really little thing. That we have hangers, which we should have put this on.
Oh, you're right.
That you can just do a little hanger on this, and she did seasonal ones. There was a snowman for winter. But again, if you like the little crows, that's just, again, this is a great, great, great beginner's project if you have somebody who's just starting out.
And then this one, almost done. This one is called Give Thanks. There's not a lot to say about it. It's just really nice.
Beads on it? Yeah,
Yes.
there are beads on that one.
There's beads on the, they're not very showy beads though. I think you could, although it's probably supposed to be subtle, you know, give thanks, not bling, not bling.
Yes,
Okay.
the last one.
And then our last one is still in progress. But this, we've done this, the tea towels before with the embroidery on them. And this one is, there's a whole series of these. There was a spring one. We did one.
This is a pillow. We turned it into a pillow, Hello Spring.
Hello Spring. I did a Halloween one last year, and then this one just says,
Oh, the Christmas reindeer.
oh, the Christmas reindeer, which was one of my favorite ones. This says, thankful. Now, this is, again, let's go back to our oldie but goodie transfer ease. What I did was I just printed off the transfers, and it did take a little bit more than just one sheet, but that's okay. I just ran a partial sheet through the printer, and it printed off beautifully. So I did not have to sit at the window or at a light box and transfer the design to my tea towel. So this one hopefully will be done tonight. We'll see. Maybe yes, maybe no. But that's, and it can be, you can make it into a pillow like we did the last one. Just a little towel to hang over your oven door. That will also work too. So kids, I think that that's all we have.
So
for
which
you.
one are you going to come clean? I want to know that.
What?
Because we have a mess now.
Oh, I thought you said come clean about
No, I
admit
want
to
them
something.
to come clean.
Oh, I thought they were going to admit
No,
that
not
they
come
did something.
clean.
I know.
Come pick up. Now, there's several projects that we did not get to. So what we
Yep.
decided is in the coming weeks we may toss them in on future Tuesday tidbits on what we're doing. So, but we also have to get ready for Christmas in August.
Yeah, we decided this afternoon our job will be to sit down and make our list for Christmas in August. Because we have this partial list, but we don't have a full list.
Right.
So that's what we'll be doing next. So that's going to be the end of August. And we will see you then, but hopefully we'll see you between now and then. And
So
I'm
let
very
us know what you think about this.
Yeah.
If you like the live event thing or just a regular video.
Yeah, is it really that big of a deal? I mean, Marty and I did not put any more makeup on today rather than any other day that we do this. I put earrings on. Does that?
Yes, I did too.
I had to chisel the holes through my ears. That was about it. So yes, hopefully you all enjoyed this. And are they supposed to share or anything like that?
Yeah, they can just they can subscribe, whatever they want to do. But we would like to know whether you felt that this was worth it or not. Okay?
All right. So anyways, have a happy fall. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Remember, sail between now and Saturday.
Yes.
Bye.